flavor exclusive kitchen. We back at it with the Taffy, the prison Taffy. We're gonna use these Skittles. We're gonna use these Jolly Ranchers. Then I got this tahini and this chamoy. You feel me? And this creamer, 12-ounce creamer, and that's regular creamer. That's not sugar creamer, just regular creamer. So what you want to do is you want to get you a bag, big enough to mix this in. A nice sturdy bag, not a thin one. And you're gonna dump this whole creamer in there. Now see, the thing with these creamers, right? This specific brand and a lot of other brands as well, it kind of varies on how much creamer you actually get. Because sometimes it's missing a little creamer. Sometimes they on point. This time they on point. So pay attention to that because the water creamer ratio is important for the consistency of the actual taffy when it's down to the finish. Now we got the Skittles, Kool-Aid. Finna pick your flavor. Me personally, I'm finna get that good old blue pack. That's that pineapple mango, I think, something like that. Pineapple something, I forgot. But I'll put it in the description. But yeah, and then I'll also mix it with the lime kiwi, the kiwi lime flavor. Now, as far as how many of these I use 4 and 4 of each flavor. Like I said, it all depends on how I really want it to taste. But with this one, I'm gonna use 4 and 4, 4 blue, 4 green. So what you want to do is you want to use one of these packs to fill the water up, and you want to use as much of the pack as possible. So when you open it, make sure you open it at the very top so you can accurately measure the water. So now I'm gonna fill this up twice. First time I fill it up, boom. I'm gonna fill it up one more time. Put it up in there. Then I'm gonna fill it up halfway. Then I'm gonna fill it up halfway or close to halfway. Boom, throw that up in there. Yep. Now it's time to get busy. You see it. Okay, so now basically what you do is you're gonna take the bag and you want to keep pretty much grabbing the wet spots. The spots right there that's colored, that's the wet spots. You want to keep mixing the dry with the wet, the dry with the wet. Keep grabbing at the wet and mixing it. See how it's like wet right there. You want to work that spot. Keep bringing that dry creamer into that wet spot so that water can spread through the bag. Because that little bit of water is going to make a lot of difference. So you're going to keep on doing that until it start rocking up. If you see that there, see how it's rocking up? That water is getting to that creamer and it's expanding. And it's it's doing its job. That little bit of water. People come to jail, man, and, at the end of the day, they turn into scientists in here, man. I'm just, I'm following the script I learned from somebody else. So now what you want to do is you want to find you a surface, clean surface that you can use as leverage to push down on, so you can really start working this taffy. I ain't gonna lie, some people like to use a knee. Some people, like to put it in something and step on it, but me personally, I just like to use my hands. It's a little bit more clean. See how it look now? We getting there. We halfway there. See how that look? It's a little bit more there. It's rocking up. It's coming together. Now what you want to do is you want to start working it. You want to start stretching it. Me personally, if this was specifically to sell, which is not, I would put some gloves on, but I ain't gonna lie, I got very clean hands, as you can see. Uh, and yeah, you know, I probably watched them about 10 times during this video. But basically what you're doing here is you working that taffy in order to basically get it to the consistency that you want it. What you're doing now is you keep stretching it. You keep stretching it. See how it's getting longer? I'm basically working it. See, if I pull it right now, it's going to come apart too easily. At that point, I was just showing you how clean my hands is real quick. But yeah, getting back to it. You just working it, man. You just working it. This don't happen, just don't happen in seconds. You got to take some time. It's a time consuming task. Um, I edited this video and, so we wouldn't have to sit there through all that. So at this point, as you see me turning it into a ball, or should I say a cube, I'm taking all like the little lines and all the little air pockets out. See how it's firm and it don't have too much like lines or air pockets in that? Yeah, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to smash it down after I put it in this bag. And I like to use this tortilla bag because it's like a perfect square. So it gives me something to work with as far as keeping it square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw it in this tortilla bag, which you can use a Ziploc bag out there on the streets. Throw it in this tortilla bag, and I take the air out, and I leave a little hole in the bag. And what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna smash it down into the form of the bag, to the complete size of the bag. So let's get into that. Move some stuff out the way. So yeah, so what I do is I start smashing it down. And you want to evenly do this. You don't just want to just do this any old kind of way. You want to evenly smash it down. And don't mind my half done tattoo. I am in prison and it's not easy to get these tattoos as you might think. Especially in this cell living, maybe in them dorms and all that. Or on them 3 yards or 270s, but these 180s, it's not easy. But yeah, getting back to it. As you can see, I'm working it, getting it to expand across this tortilla bag to that perfect square. Smooth it out. See how that worked? So now what I did is I took it out the tortilla bag and placed it on top of some plastic to where I could stretch it out a little bit more. Get it a little bit more, on point, basically. It's going to be a little bit longer, a little bit more flatter, a lot more even. And then, like I say, I'm going to use part of this to make some gushers as well, them uneven edges. So now what I just did is I got I got 8 Jolly Ranchers. And what I'm going to do with those is I'm going to smash them down. I'm going to put them in this bag right here, this Jolly Rancher bag. Take them out there with the wrapper, of course. I believe I used blueberry or raspberry and green apple. So then I'm going to take this bag, since it's so thin, and put it inside of another tortilla bag. Give it a little bit more protection, because when I start hitting it, basically the bag is going to start ripping a little bit from the Jolly Ranchers, from the hard candy. So boom, I use this little metal thing I got to do that. So I'm not going to hit it too hard, just enough to break it up. And you want to kind of use your fingers to keep the Jolly Ranchers in place while you hitting them. Yeah. So that's what we got right there. Now we got the Jolly Ranchers. I just spread them out over the top of it. And I'm going to use this knife to pretty much spread it all the way out evenly and distribute the Jolly Ranchers across the taffy exactly how I want it, exactly how I like it. That way you get Jolly Ranchers in every bite. Flavor! Yeah, what my pop say? Flavor! Credits to him, credits to him. Yep, yep, yep. See that? Yeah, man. Throwing them diamonds on that thing. We throwing them diamonds on that thing. You see that? Yeah, watch how that look. You know, we icing that thing out. Check him out. You know, we icing that thing out. There it go. Mm, mm, mm. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Flavor. So, now it's time that we flip this over. But first, what we gotta do is we gotta get them Jolly Ranchers smashed down into that taffy so they stay in that taffy. And I like to use like either a book or like this piece of cardboard right here, cause it just make more sense. So now we're gonna take this chamoy right here. And honestly, you know, some dudes they just pour the chamoy on there after they finish. But what that does is it loosens up the taffy to where it makes the taffy like gooey. So what I do is I just take it and rub a light layer of chamoy. I used to use water, so I said, you know what? Why not use some chamoy? So yeah, I use the chamoy and rub it across the top of the taffy, and that helps the tahini stick to the taffy. And you want to evenly distribute that tahini across this taffy. And don't be stingy with it. Please don't be stingy with it. Don't get me wrong though. I done had a couple of dudes tell me like, oh man, there was a lot of tahini on that. You know, that'd be the dudes that, you know, got high blood pressure and all that. They can't have all that sodium. So, you know, some people ain't gonna want that. Some people don't want the tahini at all. You know, they just want the whole fruity vibe. I like the whole, you know, chili and the fruity type thing. So that's why I do it like this. So they want to take that cardboard or that book, whatever you use. You can even use a roller out there on the streets. And basically, like a rolling pin. So basically, take that and smash that tahini into that moisture so it gets stuck to that taffy. Boom. See that? Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. And that's how that's gonna look. And that's pretty much it for as the taffy, right? Now we finna get into these gushers. So this is the piece that I cut off of the slab of taffy. So I'm gonna cut this little edge off, cut another little edge off. Boom, so I can give me something to work with. Go ahead and knock that down real quick for my hard work, for all my time. But yeah, so what you want to do is you want to get you a piece and use that piece as a guide. See how I'm using that as a guide? Boom. So now I got these little 4 pieces. That means I'm going to make 2 gushers because I need 2 pieces each gusher. And mind you, I'm just making these 2 because my boy wanted some. My Hispanic partner, he wanted some gushers. So these really like some special order type shit. I just, you know, I'm going to hook him up real quick while I'm making this taffy. Yep, so basically I want them to be damn near perfectly the same size. I like to put a little dent in the middle. That way I can have that little pocket to catch that tahini and that chamoy. So what I'm gonna do is, boom, put my finger right there to keep it open at the top. Cause I'm gonna pour that tahini and that chamoy in there. Then I'm gonna use this knife to seal it on the edges. So basically what I'm doing is I'm smashing them edges in order for it to seal them edges. See that? I'm gonna smash that. Bam, that's gonna seal it. I'm gonna go this way. Smash it again. Boom. That's gonna seal the bottom. That's gonna seal the bottom. Boom. You see that? and that taffy going, it's gonna stick to each other. So boom. So then I got this little pocket. You see that? Boom. I got that little pocket. See how it's sticking to each other? Yeah. See that? So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna throw that tahini. I'm gonna throw that tahini and that chamoy up in there. There you go. That's tahini. Throw that up in there. And the reason why I throw that tahini up in there is to kind of absorb the chamoy and make it more of like a chili paste almost, between that and taffy. Because like I say, that taffy, any moisture is going to eat it up. It's going to eat it up. So you don't want too much of that chamoy in there. You just want a little bit. And like I say, that tahini is going to absorb that moisture. And it's like a burst of flavor. Once they get to that middle and they get to chewing on that middle and that tahini get to kicking and that chamoy get to kicking. Yeah. Yes, sir. Now, I don't want y'all to get jealous now. Like I said, y'all can go ahead and make y'all some too. That's why I made this video. Yeah, don't worry about it if it come out a little bit. Just rub that across the top. It's going to help seal it even more. So then boom, once you do that, yeah, you seal the top. Just like you sealed all the other sides. And there you go. You got you a gusher. Big gusher. We're going to do the same thing with this one. See that? Throw that up in there. Boom. Yeah. You see it? Take that. Seal that up. Boom. Got you another gusher. Now, I'll just be using this little plastic on some quick stuff when I really want to get into, packaging real neat, for my clientele. I'll do that too. But just for this, I'm just going to throw it together real quick. It don't got to be perfect. Throw that little extra little plastic up under the cup. Try to tie that up a little bit. Try to make it look a little halfway decent. There you go. Gusher. Big boy. So, the best part about this is trying it out. And the crazy part about this, as I'm cutting it right now, I got somebody at the door asking for some. I had to walk off. Let's see if I caught it on camera. Now see these slices right here in here? I sell those slices right there between $2 and $3. Now see how I cut it right there? I'm gonna sell that half a slice for $1. So like I said, as I'm doing this video, I got somebody that just came to my door and they asking for it. They want it. Like I say, this shit like crack. But yeah, that's the taffy, man. The Jolly Rancher taffy.